Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the first group, and in this video, we are going to explain the strategies we have chosen in the previous meeting. And the strategy we choose is SQ3R, which is survey, question, recite, reading, and reviewing. Before going any further, let me introduce the member of my group. There are me, Ajeng Ayu Dwi Aryani. The second is Andi Afrilia Zayana, and also Anissa Salzabila, and the last is Ayuni. Without any further ado, let's move on to the first step of SQ3R strategies. Formulate clear, concise, and relevant questions to the text parts marked in the first step, which is survey. Then the teacher asks students to write 10 questions that are relevant to the reading text given because the teacher is guided that the number of questions depends on the length of the text and the ability of students to understand the text being studied. The steps can be explained as follows. First, example instructions. The teacher provides instructions to the students to formulate questions relevant to a specific part of the text that has been highlighted or selected beforehand. This instruction can include concrete guidance on what aspects need to be questioned, such as details about characters, important events, conflicts, or the main theme of the text. The second is writing questions. Students are asked to write 10 questions are relevant to the reading material that has been provided. The number of questions can be adjusted based on the length and complexity of the text, as well as the student's ability to understand the context of the text. If the text is long and complex, more than 10 questions may be needed to truly explore students' understanding. The third is relevance and connection. It is important to ensure that the questions created by students are truly relevant to the content of the text being studied. This question should be able to deepen students' understanding of characters, plot, theme, or messages contained within the text. The fourth is basic knowledge and connection to the content. If students have limited basic knowledge or no prior knowledge about the topic or content of the text, then it is necessary to create as many questions as possible to help students understand the text more deeply. These questions may include defining terms, concepts, or specific details that may not have been known previously. And the last is collaboration in groups. Students can work in groups to create these questions. This facilitates discussion among students to ensure that the questions generated meet the established criteria. Therefore, this stage aims to train students in the skill of formulating effective questions to understand and delve into the content of the text more deeply. It also provides an opportunity to students to collaborate in the creating varied and relevant questions related to the material they have learned. That's all for the question steps.
So I will continue the explanation before. So in this step the teacher will guide students to actively engage with the text. Students will be encouraged to read the text attentively and also actively searching for the answer to the question they formulate earlier. And the teacher will help students to extract relevant information from the text to deepen their understanding. And the next is recite. So in here, the teacher will prompt students to demonstrate their comprehension by summarizing the main idea of the paragraph in their own words. And this activity will be ensure that student grasps the essence of the content and can articulate it clearly. And the teacher will provide guidance and support as needed to help a student effectively to summarizing the text. So in the last step is reviewing. So in here, the teacher will ask students to review the information they have learned and remember what is the key point from the supporting text. So students will be tasked with writing a summary of the text, consolidating their understanding and reinforcing their ability to recall the important details. And the teacher will encourage students to reflect on the text and its significance, fostering deeper comprehension and long-term retention. I think that's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, next, implementing SQ3R method in reading instruction. Students POV. First, surveying. So this is a process where students read a text or paragraph to quickly get the general idea of the text. The goal is to find important ideas in a short time. The activity is carried out systematically and allows students to gain an initial understanding of the material they read without having to read in detail. By conducting surveying, students can identify the essence of a text or paragraph without needing to read every word or detail. This is an effective strategy for helping students develop speed reading skills and a strong initial understanding of reading materials. Next, questioning. So, in the learning process, asking questions is a very effective strategy for increasing students' understanding of the subject matters. By asking questions, students actively participate in the critical and analytical thinking process. This activity helps students improve their skill in creating focused questions related to the topic being researched. In the context above, students formulate questions based on the results of the survey they have carried out. The main purpose of these questions is to help students set reading goals. By thinking about the questions they want to answer using the reading materials they are studying, students can become more focused and gain a deeper understanding of what they want to achieve through the reading process. Apart from that, asking questions can also help students anticipate what they will encounter in the reading material, so that they are better mentally prepared and more involved in the reading process. Overall, this activity has great benefits because it improves students' reading comprehension and improve their understanding of the lesson materials. Next, reading. So, students are required to read the text carefully to find answers to the key questions that have been created and obtain the message the author wants to convey through the medium of words or written materials. So, this statement emphasizes the importance of reading the text carefully to understand the content and find answers to the key questions posed. By reading carefully, students will be able to understand the message the author wants to convey through his words and sentence. In short, this statement encourages students to develop good reading skills, understanding the context, answering questions that may arise from the text, and interpret the message that the author wants to convey through the text. Through the process of reading carefully, students are expected to deepen their understanding of what they read and develop analytical and critical skills in interpreting text.
Next, point D, reciting. Students read the text and answer existing questions that have been formulated previously without looking back at the text. Students must answer not only using the information they find in the text, but also using their own knowledge. This is a method used to test student understanding of the material discussed in the text, as well as to develop their abilities in analyzing, synthesizing, and interpreting information. By using their own knowledge, students are expected to be able to provide more in-depth and contextual answers to the question asked. This method can also help students to develop critical thinking skills and strengthen their understanding of the topic being studied. Next, point E, reviewing. Students read important parts of the text and understand the text they read to help students get supporting text when first reading the text. In the context of teaching and learning, this can mean revisiting previously studied material to improve understanding. For example, when reading a text, students may be asked to identify important points or key concepts being studied. You can then return to each section to ensure understanding. The purpose of the review stage is to strengthen student understanding of the material they have read by referring to important passages and key concepts. Students can reinforce the information they have learned and increase their understanding. Reviews help students check their understanding of previously studied material and identify areas where they are still confused or lack understanding. This is an important step in the learning process, allowing students to deepen their understanding and preparing them for the next step in learning. So we conclude the SQ3R method. Survey, question, read, recite, review is a learning approach that can be used by both teacher and student. Teacher can use this method to plan their learning by providing an overview of the material to students, guiding them to formulate questions, and making the material more detailed, easy to read, note down, and review. Meanwhile, students can use the SQ3R method to improve understanding of the material in a structured and systematic manner.
It includes steps such as reading with a purpose, formalizing questions, and recording and reviewing learned information. Therefore, the SQ3R method is an effective tool for both teacher and student to enable understanding-centered, active, and sustainable learning. Maybe that's all the explanation for our Grab 1 regarding the SQ3R method. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.